Morning, everybody. Tensions rising in Eastern Europe over the movement of U.S. troops into NATO countries. What will happen next? We'll have a live report from our Pentagon correspondent. That and more right here, right now on the News Hub. I'm Simon Constable, and joining us now from Washington, D.C. is Julian Barnes. Julian, thank you very much for being there.
Simon, thanks for having me.
So tell us about these tensions. It's a small number of troops. It's just a couple of hundred. Shouldn't really make a difference, should it?
Well, the Pentagon will tell you this is a small number, but it's important. It's a symbolic commitment of the United States to its NATO allies. It is a signal to Russia that NATO allies in the Baltic states, Poland, are in a different category than Ukraine. There will be a different response should the tensions in Ukraine spread to Russia's other neighbors.
Now, Russia has a sizable army. A few hundred troops can't possibly be expected to basically hold back the entire force of Russia, can it? I mean, that isn't part of what's going on here. Are more expected later? Is that the general idea? Is that what we should expect?
Well, there are two things going on here. The Pentagon has signaled that they do have a reserve force, the NATO response force, the 1st Cavalry Division, one brigade of the 1st Cavalry Division in Texas. And should Russia make more moves into Ukraine, that is a force that could be mobilized. And in that scenario, you could see more U.S.-based American forces move into Europe. But they're holding that in reserve yet, hoping that the tensions in Ukraine de-escalate. But you make a good point. 150 troops in Latvia, another 150 in Poland. That's not going to hold back the Russian army. But it is, in the same measure, a deterrent. It does show that the U.S. is committed, that the U.S. has skin in the game. That these forces, should tensions rise in those countries, on those borders, those numbers would rise, and it shows a U.S. commitment to that defense.
So you're based in the Pentagon. What's the sense you get? You said things are maybe ready to go if needed. More troops could be sent. What sense do you get? Is there a sense that it's imminent, that more troops will be sent, or it's one of those things? It's a maybe and really not imminent at all yet.
There's a real division in the Pentagon about what Vladimir Putin's next moves in Ukraine are going to be. There are some officers you talk to who predict there is going to be a de-escalation of tensions after a couple moves to ratchet them up. There are others that see what's going on as a precursor to a military move in Ukraine. If there is a military move in Ukraine, then that's when we will see the U.S. dramatically step up its moves, moving beyond these sort of small incremental steps to something potentially more dramatic.
Okay, well, we shall find out soon enough, I'm sure. Thank you very much, Julian Barnes of the Wall Street Journal.
Thank you.